The Russo brothers are going to be producing and what are they? Do they have some sort of creative control here?
They're developing.
They're
so
developing.
Creative development.
They're developing a Warriors show, an hour-long show for Hulu.
Not the Golden State Warriors.
No. Based on the 1979 cult movie classic about the gang that needs to find its way home.
To Coney!
Yes. The Warriors have been, I would say, in a resurgence of popularity recently.
Oh, absolutely.
Certainly starting with, maybe not starting with, but definitely picking up after Rockstar did their Warriors game for the PlayStation 2.
2004?
I believe so, 2004, 2005. For the PlayStation 2 and also for the PlayStation Vita.
What was weird about that was that I was always a big Warriors fan. I think I saw it on TV as a teenager, and I was like, this is really cool. And then I'd heard that there was like a director's cut DVD coming out, which was coming out before, I think, the game. And I discovered that, like, okay, this director's cut's coming out, but it's not really a director's cut. It's just adding in these interstitial. They did like these comic style interstitials that are stupid. But there was always like, I always wanted to see the version I saw on TV, because a lot of times on TV they put in back in scenes that they cut out of the theatrical release.
Sure.
But the whole time I'm like, didn't know that like Rockstar was doing this big game. It was so strange that Rockstar would do a game based on a movie that was like 25 years old. That was like a cult classic. Like, it came out of nowhere.
Yet at the same time, the setup of the movie, actually, it's one of those few movie games where you're like,
makes sense.
Yeah, okay, that could work.
Yeah, because they took the plot of the movie, expanded it out. I remember playing it for a couple hours. Didn't play it a huge amount of time. I'm like, they did a good job with it. I mean,
right.
Now it's off the heels of GTA 3.
Right.
They're doing that.
Was that okay? It was definitely during their 3D GTA period. I couldn't remember.
Off of like Vice City or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably came out a year or two before, or even San Andreas. The whole point was like, out of all the games, I know there's different stars, like 3 of them, but of all the games that Rockstar to do, they do a Warriors game. It was just bizarre. But I guess the concept of the Warriors is so cool that that's what made the game successful.
Right.
This re-released it on PS4, and now you're gonna have a Hulu series. I mean, I love the movie. You have iconic performances. James Remar as Ajax always stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. More so than anyone else, because he's a great actor. But just the concept of warriors that are away from home having to fight their way back through other various gangs that are all colorful and themed. I wonder if that actually were there themed gangs in the late 70s? I know crime was bad in New York in the 70s, but it was an extrapolation of the crime going on in the city. You don't think you'd be walking through Central Park and having guys dressed up as baseball guys coming at you with bats. I would hope that wouldn't happen, but then again, you hear Central Park 70s,
yeah,
it doesn't sound like a good time.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be out there. So the fact that the Russo brothers are doing this, I'm watching this, obviously. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, they've created in a very short time a very large amount of credibility for themselves.
Yeah.
So I think that this definitely stands a chance of being something very good.
Have you seen The Warriors?
Bits and pieces.
Oh,
of it,
you've
like,
never
a
seen
long
it?
time ago. No, I've seen it all the way through, but like it was. I saw a chunk of it at my buddy's house, and then I saw another chunk of it, and then I think I finally saw it all the way through, and I was like 13, and I probably haven't watched it since. I just remember thinking it was very fucking cool.
I went out and read the freaking screenplay.
Really?
To see the difference between the movie, yeah, and the screenplay. Well, the big one is that the character Fox, who's like the sort of everyman character, the one that gets killed off, thrown to the subway. He was supposed to be like the main character throughout the movie that gets the girl and everything, but the actor didn't like where the script was going, didn't like it, so they killed him off. He left basically production.
Oh, gotcha.
Instead of kill him off. So that kind of went things for a loop. So he wasn't supposed to die then. In the script, 2 more characters die. He survives. Characters die. So the main character, which I love the movie escapes right now, the main character who takes over for the second in command, Swan. Swan's character doesn't get the girl, doesn't have the interaction with the girl. They sort of softened him up for the rest of the movie. But in the movie, he gets like captured by one of the gangs with like pit bulls and has to fight his way out of this building. It's like kind of intense, at least in the screenplay scene. So that's not in the movie. But then 2 other characters die. The cowboy character gets killed by the baseball Furies in the script.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Italian suave, kind of like goofball, gets killed by the Lizzies. Gets shot
really?
by the Lizzies. They don't all escape in that. So but for the most part, the rest of the screenplay is intact.
That's about right.
But it's a very intense in The Warriors. It's a movie that could only have been made then.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I always hear them trying to remake it. It would not work in modern day.
No.
It would not work in modern day. Partially because a lot of times now they're using guns instead of bats and pipes and chains. It's not as exciting.
Right.
Sorry. Gotta be a man and use these. It's a lot more exciting. Anyway, makes for better fight scenes. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be a fun series. They do like a 10-episode series, whatever. Like, I'm on board with this. The fight scenes will be great. They'll probably just expand out the main story, have more of their maybe time on Coney Island, the same way the video game did. So.